welcome back. In this series, I'm going to show you how the payment gateway demo will be looks like on a Red Hat OpenShift container platform. So this is OpenShift 4.3.23. This demo will actually works as long as it is version 4 with support for service mesh. Prometheus is a community, but as long as you can deploy the operator for Prometheus and these Red Hat MQ streams as well. Okay, so if you look at here, based on the previous video that I have explained, there are a few projects that is actually created for this demo. One is the PayGap, the other one is the PayGap Istio system, PayGap RH SSO. So in this, you will see that it's actually just one single SSO pod that is running in there. Okay, so so what is in the single sign-on? Okay, let's go to it. So there's a two URL, which is one is a secure SSO, the other one is the non-secure SSO. So for this demo, actually, I'm using a self-signed certificate. So I was just going to use the HTTP for all the demo because if I use HTTPS, there will be some problem with some of the API calls because of the self-signed certificates. So log in again. So don't save. So in here, I actually in the demo installer has actually created a payment gateway so-called domain, right, for the demo. And you can see there is one client created, which is customer account. So this will protect the so-called secure the customer UI component. This, if you look at this domain name, it's actually exposed by the Istio, right? So without Istio, right, this will actually set to the route for the actual customer UI. But now because we have Istio, so you need to set your client for the customer account to the Istio domain name, right? That is provided for the customer UI. So in here, if you look at here, very simple. All these are default using OpenID Connect for the client protocol. And the very redirect URL is the domain name itself for the customer UI and as well as the base UI. So these are the, for a very simple demo, these are the two things that you need to do, right? Of course, oh yeah, there is another thing. So I have user created. Okay, back to the customer account again. Okay, there is a role for the client, which is the customer, right? Very simple, right? So for my user, like I mentioned earlier in my previous video, there are two users here. One is John, the other one is Jenny, right? So click on here, go in there. You will see there is one attribute created, which is account ID, and this is the account ID that is stored in the account profile MongoDB, right? When I log in through this Red Hat single sign-on, right? So this ID, this information that is tied to this account, right, will be able to pick up by the customer UI Node.js application. So with this information, then the customer UI application will be able to send it to the customer service camel service to query for example the account balance and also account profile information. Okay, so each of these user like Jenny also have its own different type of account ID. So this will match to the account ID in the account profile MongoDB. So very simple. Okay, so this is a Red Hat single sign-on how it looks like. So let's come back to the OpenShift console again, right? Um, the next I want to show you is the uh, pay right? The key. So this is the project that has all the deployment. Okay, I have my account profile, MongoDB, account services MongoDB, query response, credit service, customer UI, and so on, right? All this is there. And if you look at the port itself, quite a number of ports there, right? So let's have a different view of it. Let's go to the developer topology, right? You can see these are all the ports that is deployed for the payment gateway demo, right? You can see a set of Kafka component here. This is the Red Hat MQ stream. Okay, let's go back to the administrator view. Okay, so you will see that is I have brought up a Kali here, right? So this is Kali, and you can see in the overview, you will see that is two projects here. One is a Paygate, which is the main demo. This is the Istio or Red Hat Service Mesh core system OpenShift project itself. Okay, so there are 12 project or 12 application that is active and running now. Okay, all are showing healthy, and this showing a missing sidecar. This is normal because alert manager we do not want to actually inject the sidecar inside there, right? So yeah. And if you go to the graph view, right, so you can see that this is a very good one single piece of view about what is happening. Let's remove this so that it looks cleaner, and maybe I'll to turn on the animation so that you can see how the message is going through. And if you come to here, probably you want to show response time, right? There are many, a few, not many, but a few important metrics that you can see, like requests per second, requests per percentage, and response time. So I've run once transaction before the recording, and you can see the message has flow through from the Istio, and then go to the customer UI. And what it does, because I do a credit transfer, it call the credit service. Credit service actually push the message to the credit topic in the Kafka. Okay, so if you forget about the how the architecture looks like, or what each of these component is doing, you can refer back to my previous video on the introduction. So at the same time, customer UI also call the customer service to pull, example, when John login, you call to the customer service and pull the account profile information, and also call to the account service to pull the account balance. So whenever credit service to submit a messages to here, credit transfer, you will notice the event collaborator will pick up from here and then call the account service to update to the MongoDB, right? So this is how it looks like. Okay. So let's go OpenShift again. Let's go to the networking routes. Okay. And let's go to the Istio system. So these are the route that is I created in the demo to expose the customer UI interface. So click on it. You can see that now the Red Hat single sign-on actually prompt me to log in. So let's say I log in with John. And this is the very simple user interface, but it serves the purpose to demo the feature and function. And you can see in here, these are not working yet. Okay, so what you can do is that you can see there's an account number here. There is an account balance. Now I have $212 in my account for John, right? This is my account as a John. And if I want to transfer money to Jenny, I can just click on transfer money. And Jenny account is actually this number, right? And let's say I transfer a $10. Submit, and it say submitted successfully, right? Click OK back, you can see your amount has been reduced. So when you back to here, right, you can see there are actually some transaction or traffic that is happening, right? Show you some others interesting demo that we have in here. So let's go to the payget again, and if you remember, I said I have Prometheus and Grafana installed for the payment gateway. Of course, you can also install a centralized Prometheus and Grafana and put it somewhere else, and then you can actually access to the centralized Prometheus and Grafana and monitor all the others if you have others microservices that is running in other projects, you can do that. But for me, I just want to simplify the so-called setup and demo, so I just install everything in here. So if let's say I go to the Grafana, you can see it's loading. Okay, I still have my login session active, and I have created a few sample dashboard in here. You can see in the payment gateway folder, I have payment gateway overview. These are the sample dashboard that is provided by Red Hat and QStream. All you need to do when you set up the demo, you just need to import the dashboard JSON file. So let's go to the first one. So you can see this is a very simple demonstration of how you can actually enable metrics and resource monitoring using Grafana on OpenShift to be able to capture and have all the details information about examples, right? How many services is up, how many camel exchange has been completed, and how many has failed. In this case, none has failed. And you have how many Kafka Connect I have. Obviously I have one. How many zookeeper quorum size, and so on, right? And you will be able to see as well as the credit service, all the others component inside the Paygate project for the CPU usage. You can also have the JVM or heaps memories usage show to you and capture to you, right? And you also have be able to actually do a monitoring on Spring Boot and Node.js and do a comparison in the performance of the average response time. So in this case, you can see, actually, Node.js is performing better than the Spring Boot. This is obviously the truth. Okay, so let's look at the others so-called, hold on, let me take this up. Okay, Stringy Kafka Connect. So this is the Kafka Connect resource monitoring. Of course, in here I only have one project K and one MongoDB Connect, and you can see how is the memory usage, JVM usage, CPU, and you have Stringy Kafka dashboard to show you, right, all the details about the performance and metrics for the Kafka itself. Okay, all these are self explained. I don't think I need to really explain everything here. So go to Zookeeper dashboard. You will be seeing things such as like how many active connections, if there is any CPU usage, available disk spaces, JVM cycles, memory, and so on. All right. Okay. Kali again, right? So in Kali, they are also an integrated Jaeger, right? So if you come to the, you can see there is a Jaeger here, okay, for distributed tracing, application tracing, and then you can select services, right, to look at, for example, I want to look at my customer service, find the traces, then I can see all the detail of the traces that is happening, uh, how is the message, how is the services running, what is the performance, and so on. And you can access to the same tracing as well through the Kali. Example, go back to the same customer service that I have here and search. Right, so you can see there are some tracing information available, right? So you can see the same user interface as what you can see in Jaeger as well, right? So all this has been pre-configured and installed when you perform the service mesh installation through the Red Hat OpenShift operator. So that's all for my demo.